that's being done by our province, and work that's necessary and work that we're all going to appreciate. And we're so lucky to have Sean with us today. You've been a great ambassador of our industry, and you do so much great work. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Kim. So most of what Kim says is not true, but I am.
Parts about me are though, Sean.
But the Ministry of Transportation in the province of Ontario is committed to the transportation sector. You are a fundamental backbone of what happens in this province, and we want to make sure that you get the support and the resources you need to be successful. And at the end of the day, that's what we're about. So I'm just going to introduce myself to those that don't know me. I'm the regulator for commercial operators in the province of Ontario. So for those that have had the good fortune of working with my office, we're the folks that come and talk to you about your safety record and what's happening on the highway. I'm here on behalf of the Director of Driver Training Compliance Oversight Branch, Lisa Leclerc. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here today, but she wanted to make sure that you understood the importance of this group and the importance of the sector. She wants to make sure that you understand that she is about working with stakeholders, listening to stakeholders, getting your perspective and understanding what you need. So it's really important that you know that Lisa will be there. I had the opportunity to introduce Lisa and Kim a couple of weeks ago. I think Kim will tell you that Lisa is a very receptive person and is willing to listen to anyone's point of view. And she's going to drive the agenda of this government, which is to make business successful. We want to see that success. We want to make sure that it's burden reduced, oversight that achieves the safety outcomes that we need. And Lisa's going to be a big supporter of that work. So regardless of how the context is presented, this is about supporting business. Some businesses may not succeed. Some businesses may not continue as a driving school. That's not what our intent is. Our intent is to help you get successful. So please, when you hear what's happening, keep that in mind. It's about ensuring success and making sure the students coming out are getting the required training. Mike was talking earlier, and I'm going to pick on Mike a little bit because he has no problems picking on me. The provinces all try to work together, and as the ADM had said earlier, our job is really to make sure that you can travel from coast to coast in the least burdensome way possible while ensuring that all the things that need to be observed are observed. And at the end of the day, it's not going to be perfect. But it's those relationships that we build in these meetings and through those audits and through that oversight where you have somebody you can pick up the phone and talk to that will improve those outcomes. We will make sure that you have the information you need. And it starts with the Ministry of Transportation in Ontario. I have a lot of great contacts out in Alberta, and they still take my calls. So it's generally a good relationship. And that's because we talk. The provinces do talk, and we understand that what may be true in Ontario may not be true in Alberta, or what may not be true in PEI may not be true in Northern Ontario. And I was saying to one of the driving schools, or it was driving school, or maybe the president of ISHA, even within our own provinces, we have particular situations that are not consistent throughout the province. So recently, your sponsor, Blue Drop, is a vendor of the province of Ontario, and they helped us develop a module for driving in Northern Ontario because the conditions in Northern Ontario are so fundamentally different from down here. Down here, you can get a coffee every 5 minutes. You can get a repair shop every 5 feet. You can, a lot of the times the roadways are lit. You have multi-lane highways. You go to Northern Ontario, and after you get past the Sioux, you have Wawa, and then after that, you have nothing. You have trees, you have moose, you have a few deer. So fundamentally, it's a 2-lane road, and so the conditions are different. So even though we talk about it from a provincial perspective, even within our provinces, we have differences that we need to address, and training is where we get that. Well, that's where we start that conversation. So with the Northern Rural and Remote Driving module that we developed, what we're trying to help carriers understand and drivers understand is that once you leave the GTA, these are the things you have to consider. Support may be hours away. weather may change dramatically. You're driving along the shores of the Great Lakes. Everybody who's been a truck driver, Mike, you get to Wawa, it's sunny. You get to Schreiber, it's a full snowstorm. It's just the way it works up here, right? So we're trying to help people understand that you have to be proactive in your work. And the Red Seal piece is exactly feeds into that whole concept of you create those competent human beings behind the wheel, and they know where to go, they know what they need to do, and they understand the resources available to them. So the Red Seal piece for me, as the regulator for commercial operators, I see the connection between the operator and the driver as being critical to that success. And so in any Red Seal example, the operator is going to have to validate that the hours have been served. The work has been done, which means the operator now has to be invested in that relationship, in that conversation, which will improve the outcomes for everyone. So I see a lot of value in the Red Seal conversation because it drives that relationship between carrier and driver.
Member Matt Moyer is the new ADM for the Commercial Safety and Enforcement Division, and he's taken the time to come over to say hello and bring some best wishes. So let's welcome Matt up for a minute, please.
Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for having me. I'm here today with 3 members from our ministry. So I just wanted to point out to everybody, while these great conversations are going on, it's really, really important that we be listening and we be hearing. And we're sitting at the back of the room. We didn't have the best seats. We should have come early. But I'm just going to tell you something that resonates really clearly with me, and I'm the new guy to the ministry, is the passion. You're all supporting each other with your comments. Nobody's challenging anybody. I would expect it a highly collaborative room, but I was really, really impressed with the passion behind all your answers. And it didn't matter who you put up on the panel. Everybody had the best interests and talked about how we want to move the dial, advance our learning, advance our training, deal with accountability, deal with the insurance issue. I'm just going to skim over that one real quick, if you don't mind. And some of the other issues that are pressing. But I think really importantly is the passion that I heard from the back of the room. So first and foremost, I just want you to know that the ministry had a place today at the table right from the beginning, and we were absolutely listening. I just finished 35 years of policing about a month ago. So this has been a month and a half ago, I guess. So I've transitioned really quickly to from being sort of having a narrow perspective on what my role was with the police to all of a sudden the ADM role where they say, oh my God, you've got the commercial vehicle. And did we tell you, you also got to deal with the trucking industry? There may be a few issues there. And then also the tow truck. Have you even a lot about to see on the tow truck? Oh, and by the way, ferries. I said ferries? No, ferries. Small rail. Do you know anything about small rail? So I told the deputy, no, a little bit. Moderately, no. He said, you're hired. So anyway, I just want to thank you for having me here today. I heard some great comments and some great stories. I heard some really great suggestions, and you're on track. And don't yell at me, but I'm going to critique you about one thing I'd love to see. You have a story to tell. It's not getting outside this room. I hope I haven't hurt anybody's feelings, but you have a great story to tell. You are the backbone of our industry here in Ontario for moving goods. And I'm listening to the stories this morning and I'm thinking, oh my God, there's so many great stories. Why doesn't the average person know that? Why don't we acknowledge that? Where is the marketing beyond this? Because I really believe that if the story gets out, all the other things will fall into place. Not seamlessly, but over time and over a shorter time. So all of the things that we talk about, we've got to move legislation. We need a different regulation for this. We've got to get this approved. What are we going to do? You know what? You're going to get public support. And if you have public support, I firmly believe things happen faster. And I'm one of those guys that's been fighting with the tow industry day and night before I left policing. And now I find out it's under my, so I've already told them there's a new sheriff in town. So, but in terms of this industry here, I just want to tell you, I'm still learning, absolutely still learning, and I will not misrepresent myself and profess to know more than I do. I will rely on my experts who are sitting at the back of the room today, my managers that have traveled down for this meeting, but I do want to be an ear. So if you think there's something that, a meeting, if you think that there's something, an issue that we need to get our head around moving forward, please let me know. I'm a Toronto boy and I can get to where you are.